Whole30 family. My name is Laura, and as you can see, I am an actual professional chef, but I'm going to show you guys some hacks that I've learned at culinary school and in all my years of food service that you can implement in your home kitchen. So, we don't need this anymore. No, we don't need this anymore. Okay, so welcome to my home kitchen. The first is how to set up your station for your cutting board. So in the culinary world, there's a term called mise en place. It's a French term and it means everything in its place. So before I start prepping for my Whole30 meals, I make sure I have the mise en place in place. First is a nice cutting board, and under here, you can see that I put a wet paper towel, kind of a damp paper towel. That's going to prevent this guy from slipping and sliding. Take a knife of choice. This is a chef's knife or a French knife, and this is a steel. And a steel does not sharpen the knife, it just puts the edge back on. So a nice simple motion like this, front to back, and that's going to get that nice knife and sharp. As you see, I have an apron on, my hair is up, my hands are clean, and my station is set up. I have a scrap bowl here, so I don't have to keep going into the garbage disposal or into the trash can. And we are ready to cook. So one of the first tips for an efficient Whole30 kitchen is to have your Tupperware and containers organized and ready to go. You're going to be using these a lot. One of my favorite containers are these 8-ounce ball jars. They're great for mayonnaise, ghee, dressings, etc. And of course, without them on the lid on, they're also microwavable safe. So let me get out some Tupperware. I always match up the lid to the bottom so I'm not looking around. And we're going to cut an onion. I've got my scrap bowl here, put that over there, and I've got my finished product bowl here. And the reason why is because I'm right-handed. So a chef always cuts this way and dismounts into their bowl. So this is a basic yellow onion. I've got a nice sharp knife. That's one of your best tools in the kitchen. I cut off both ends and I cut it straight down the center. These are scraps. You could use those in a stock if you want. And then you're going to peel off the skin of the onion. Now onions are already naturally layered. If you keep your onions cold, they're less likely to make you cry. Room temperature onions tend to make you cry a little bit more. And what you're going to do is you're going to find the root part. That's there. I'm going to put that towards the back. And I'm going to make slices almost all the way through, but not quite. These are our horizontal slices. Look at how high my fingers are. They are not going to get in the way. And I don't cut all the way back. Then I turn the onion and I do cut straight down, but again, I'm not cutting all the way back. Anytime you cut, you want to curl your fingers. Now I can cut straight down, and instead of lifting the knife and chopping like that, I'm rocking with the knife. That's a lot safer. Tuck your thumb back behind it, and the end of it, you just dice up. And there you have a beautiful diced onion. You're probably going to be using a lot of onions for all of our wonderful recipes that we have in our Whole30 book and our slow cooker book, etc. And that is how you easily dice an onion. Is this thing on? Next, we're going to make zoodles. Zoodles is a common Whole30 staple item that I eat probably twice a week. A nice replacement for pasta. This is a spiralizer. If you can come in here, you see I'm going to suction cup it down. It has a suction cup. So I press firmly down and turn it to on. And now it is not going to slip and slide. We do not want to put a zoodle like this. It's not stable. So I trim off both ends. And I do cut it in half. Again, here's my scrap bowl right here. And this is very sharp, even though it's plastic. And I put it here. This is your blade. There's a lot of different blades. Come on over here. Come around here. And I am going to take this handle and push forward as I spiralize. And look at all those beautiful zoodles coming out. Great with a Romanesco sauce, a homemade marinara, store-bought marinara, a bolognese sauce. And look at that, beautiful zoodles right into my bowl. Now this piece, a lot of people would say, oh, that's a scrap. Well, not for me. I would either cut it up and saute it with my zoodles, or I just do a quick dice. And I could have that tomorrow for an omelet and do some sauteed zucchini right into my omelet. And that's how you spiralize zucchini. Do you know asparagus has a secret? If you listen to it, they'll tell you exactly where to cut it. So you actually don't need a knife to trim asparagus. You simply bend and it snaps exactly where it's supposed to. This is the woody side of the stem, that's a scrap. This is the beautiful tender spear. So put your knife away and snap, snap, snap. This is a great thing there. Kids can get involved too. And then you've got a beautiful way to roast your asparagus. I put some olive oil, salt and pepper, and if you notice, I've got my parchment paper. You know why? Parchment paper is a lifesaver. You're gonna spend a lot of time in the kitchen for Whole30. The little tricks you can do to help with cleanup, the better. So after I've cooked my asparagus, my sheet pan will look something like this, but I've got my parchment paper, voila, a quick easy wash, and I'm ready to go again. Who doesn't love garlic? This can be a little complicated to get into. This is a whole head of garlic. And the best thing you can do, instead of trying to wedge your knife in there, is to just smash it. Woo! And it comes right out. Now come on in here. This has got a papery little encasement, and it's hard to pick at. Take the flat side of your chef's knife and give it a good, fingers up, give it a good whack. And it pops right out. And then you can go ahead and mince it on up. Curve your fingers, mince it on up. Really get in there. You can paste it. You can even sprinkle a little bit of kosher salt in there. That acts as an abrasive. And you can go to town smashing this up. The other option is if you don't want it this, you can go to the store. They already have whole peeled garlic for you, ready to go. With as much cooking as you're going to be doing in Whole30, any little hacks you can do to make your life easier in the kitchen is always a plus. Aha! Ooh, one of my favorite little treats, compliant bacon. So this is a sugar-free bacon, and most folks would get out their old frying pan, throw their bacon in the pan and start sizzling away. And that's fine. You can certainly do that. But one thing I like to do, I've been doing this for years, instead of cooking my bacon on the stovetop, whoop, I put it right into my little toaster oven here. I don't have to heat up a big oven. It lays nice and flat, preheated to about 400 degrees. Slide it on in, and in about 10 minutes I have beautiful crispy bacon. Once it's finished, I actually drain off the bacon fat in one of my trusty ball jars, and it can be a nice cooking fat to work with as well. So save every little bit that you can. Woo! Hey, you caught me juggling. So in Whole30, you're going to be juggling a lot in the kitchen, right? But one thing that we're going to make a lot of probably on our Whole30 are eggs. Fried eggs, scrambled eggs, and of course hard-boiled eggs. You want to get the best quality eggs you can get because of how many eggs you're eating. So come on over here. I've got some eggs. Now, how do you tell if one is hard-boiled and one is a raw egg? So you give them a little spin. Check it on out. Spin this guy. Yeah, you got a little spin going there, a little wobbly. And this one, wee-hee! Which one's the hard-boiled one? It's the spinner, solid inside. The raw one is sloshing back and forth, slowing it down. So we've got hot boiling water. We don't need vinegar. We don't need salt. We don't need voodoo. All we need is hot boiling water and some eggs. We lower them into the hot boiling water. The water will come back to a boil, and we time it for about 10 minutes. That's what most folks like. When it's done, we're going to plunge it into an ice bath, nice cold water there to shock them and stop the cooking process. Once they are hard boiled, here's my spinner, you're going to tap the bottom and tap the top. What you're doing is you're breaking that little air sac. Give the egg a roll back and forth. And because of how we cooked them, and you can always peel it in your ice water bath too, the shell comes out beautifully. And these are beautiful. Give it a little rinse. Hard cooked eggs. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Mine was just maybe a little bit under. Maybe that's more like a 9-8 minute egg. And that is a beautiful egg for some protein. Say hello to your new friend. This is the avocado. On Whole30, you're going to be eating quite a bit of avocado. Delicious, healthy fats. Come on over, let me show you how to cut these. So you can take a knife and you're going to roll your knife through. You're going to run into that pit, give it a little twist, and voila. Now some people go whack. Please don't do that. please put it on a cutting board with your fingers far, far away. Now you can give it a little whack and a twist. And now you've got your avocado. We've got to get it out. One way to do it is to take a spoon. This is a perfectly legitimate way to take a spoon and scoop it on out. Beautiful avocado. Another way is to put it on its side, trim off both ends, pick it up, and peel it just like you're peeling almost like a banana. Avocados can be frozen. Put them in a Ziploc bag, suck out all the extra air, and you can freeze your avocado halves too. So however you'd like to cut up your avocado, get to know your new friends. Half an avocado is a great source of plated fat. Behold, coconut milk, another great product on your Whole30 journey. Come on over. As you see when you open it up, it's pretty solid in there. So what I have here is an immersion blender. You've got your coconut cream that's floated to the top and your coconut milk or coconut sort of water underneath. So we need to put them together. So in they go into this nice cup that came with my immersion blender. Scoop it all out. My immersion blender sets in. It has a safety mechanism, so a locking mechanism. And then we blend. Comes together almost instantly. Okay. When we are done with this coconut milk, you can go right into a recipe, but likely you'll have a little left over. You do not want to pour it back into the can and store it there. You can, however, pour it into that ball jar we talked about earlier and put it in the fridge, but the shelf life is only going to be a couple of days. You know coconut milk has gone bad because just like regular milk, it starts to smell a little off, a little sour. What I like to do with my leftover coconut milk is get some ice cube trays, and we pour. We're gonna pop these right into the freezer, and what we get through the magic of television, voila, perfect little pucks of coconut milk ready to go into any soup, sauce, bulletproof coffee, and they don't go bad. Coffee. Great way to start the day. Try to have 1 cup of coffee before noon. Now at Whole30, we have to say goodbye to our old friend sugar. Bye-bye. And our old friend milk or cream. So how do we enjoy a nice cup of coffee? Well, I make bulletproof coffee every morning, and let me show you how. I have my fresh brewed coffee in my blender. If you remember my frozen coconut milk, put about 2 of those in and put a little scoop of homemade ghee in. Now you might be saying, Laura, this kind of looks like a lot of fat. Well, I'm gonna add a little more, a little MCT oil. And this is great for energy, supports a healthy metabolism, and can help a little bit with weight loss. I'm gonna blend these items together. Woo! And then add in my freshly brewed coffee, put the lid on, and I put a rag on for safety. Pressure builds. And done. Check it out. It pours like a beautiful creamy cappuccino, nice bit of healthy fats in there. Try eating your meal first before you go into the coffee. A little cinnamon there to make it fancy. Coffee's a known appetite suppressant, but once you start enjoying bulletproof coffee, you'll never go back. Mayo, mayo. We're going to make basic mayo. This is a recipe that you will start to memorize. In our food processor here, we have a 1/4 cup of avocado oil. I like avocado oil because it tastes lighter. When I have tried it with extra virgin olive oil, it starts to taste very greasy and very olive heavy. So I do not use extra virgin olive oil. I stick with good old avocado oil. We also have a 1/2 teaspoon of dry mustard powder in there. We are going to put a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt in, and we are going to put 1 egg. The egg can be room temperature, but it doesn't have to be, quite honestly. This is our food processor. It's gonna get a little loud, and we turn it on. Voila. Next, we are going to slowly drizzle in the avocado oil. Now check this out. This is the little plunger thing, but what I realize mine has is a tiny little hole. So instead of slowly pouring it like this, we're gonna make an emulsification, binding together the egg and the oil. I put it on, and I don't have to go slow at all, because it will drizzle it in slowly for me. And if you listen, it's starting to get thicker. An emulsification is happening. Ooh, I can see it happening. I'm gonna finish off with my 1 full cup of avocado oil. You can hear it, it's happening. It's coming together. Beautiful plated fat for your whole 3rd meal template. Slowly it's drizzling in because of this plunger, see? It's doing all the work. In the meantime, I will add a little lemon juice, but waste not, want not. This is a microplane zester. You can zest your lemon before you juice it, and you can add that lemon zest to just about anything. Fresh roasted vegetables, and that's nice lemon zest right there. Turn it off. Come on over and check it out. Beautiful emulsified mayonnaise. I like to finish mine off with a little bit of Tabasco sauce. That is a compliant hot sauce. Some fresh ground black pepper. You can put anything in this. You can put fresh garlic in. You can put curry in. Beautiful. How about that lemon? Roll it around, get it nice and juicy. You can even pop that lemon in the microwave for a couple seconds to soften it up. I strain it over my hand so no seeds go in. I catch all the seeds. Check it out, there are the seeds right there. I didn't need a special tool for that, just my hand. Give it one more blend. Beautiful, compliant, no sugar mayonnaise, ready for all of your plated fats. And that's how you make basic mayo.